Where are all the Brits? That's what we want to know. Hello everybody, with me I have today Paul Brazella Costa, one of our top team members, and we're going to be talking about where the Brits are. They seem to have gone missing, and we seem to be dealing with every other nationality. It's like the United Nations here at the moment, but the Brits are a little bit quiet. Where are they, Paul?
It's very strange. I know that quite a few, because of these restrictions, have just simply canceled, and others are trying to make it like in the past 2 weeks. I've only had two clients from the UK, and one of them just grabbed on their car and jumped on the ferry, landed in Santander. Santander drove down and said, "We want to be here."
Yeah.
And that was great. And the other ones made it because they actually own another property here, and so they had legal rights to come and check it out and use it.
It's a weird one, isn't it? So why are all the other nations? Because I was doing some research. If you like a stat, you'll love this. I was doing some research the other day. I don't know if I can find the stat, but and it was, I think, out of our last
nationalities,
our last 22 deals or something. I think it was 18 different nationalities.
Yeah, that's it.
And we're not talking, the usual suspects like Belgium, Sweden, although they were in there. We're talking about places like Ukraine and Bahamas, and it's like amazing.
Yeah.
Why?
Swedish as well.
Yeah, the Swedes are strong at the
well.
moment.
Yeah.
But even then, we've only sold to maybe 2 Swedes out of the last 22. It's been like, as I say, 18 different nationalities. So it's been spread around.
Yeah.
But I'm so surprised that the Brits aren't. I mean, I think we've sold to one UK buyer, but that's it.
It's like we were commenting. I mean, now is the time to be here. Honestly, this is the time to be here. And so you can see, not only from the investment point of view, but from people that are just fed up of living in large cities, they're coming down here and they're getting on the boat now.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about, that you don't want to miss this opportunity, and you have to try hard to get here. I don't know how to explain this, because obviously it's a political issue, but now is the time. I mean, there's deals going on, like and there's properties that are in the key locations that are just, you can miss it by 2 hours, like's happened.
It's
by
become a
2
bit of
hours,
it's almost become a bit of a London market, where if you don't grab it on the first
exactly.
visit, or even the first virtual visit over the phone or on video, you're gonna
put a reservation and at least take it off the market. But that's happening.
I found that we've probably got 80% of our buyers chasing 20% of the stock.
That's it.
And the good stuff, like you said, the good stuff is going, and there's almost a lack of stock in the good areas now because a lot of it's being bought. Is it the case? And the way I liken it is that, the Brits are going to be late to the party, and they're going to come through the door. Everyone's going to be drunk and enjoying themselves, and there'll be nothing left at the buffet. And the Brits will be like, "Where's the food? Where's the sausage rolls?"
That's it.
And the Belgians will have eaten them, the Swedes will have eaten them, and there'll be nothing
where
left.
are we going to have to move to find the product that's being sold now? And that's another thing, is that yes, there's also a lot of building going on, a lot of construction, a lot of beautiful properties, but the key word is always location.
Yeah, I agree.
So we always talk about, so now is the time to really see what's on the market, and it's moving. I was in Puerto Banús this morning showing properties, and it's incredible. The agents, we have sort of a waiting list, which is really good. This honestly hasn't happened. This movement hasn't happened in a few years, as things are moving now. As I would say, governments are opening up slowly but surely, are opening up their doors, and people are arriving. It's busy.
I think the mindset has changed, hasn't it? I think this pandemic, I mean, we weren't sure where we stood as a business 15 months ago. We were all thinking, oh my word, what's going to happen? But I think what the pandemic has taught us, and I include myself in this because I'm buying a house at last. But I think it's taught us that our home is important because we're spending a lot of time there.
That's it.
Space is important, and also the world hasn't stopped. And it's just time to start living life again and enjoying it.
Absolutely. There's money. There's still money out there. The markets are
there's a lot of money out there. Because I think most people, I mean, obviously a lot of people have suffered in this pandemic financially, but a lot of people haven't. They've either continued to be paid, or they've had businesses that have continued to be profitable. And they haven't been spending a lot. They haven't been going anywhere. They haven't been out buying stuff. So a lot of people have got this pent-up demand, really, I think, and this pent-up financial supply of
Exactly,
you know,
that's it.
and it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, and another interesting thing is, and this has happened not only to a client of ours, it's happened to one of my best friends, is that the traveling is not happening as it used to be. He used to be traveling 3 weeks out of the month,
Yeah.
and like in various European countries due to his job.
Yeah.
And now it's work from home,
Yeah.
kick back. You know, he's down here in the south in
true.
his penthouse and
Yeah.
enjoying life
Yeah.
much more, enjoying his family, enjoying his children. You know, not so much stress. That's also showed us, I think.
It's really interesting, particularly with the British people. I mean, I've met a few in the last few weeks, and they're kind of in two different camps. Either, particularly the owners, the British owners who've already bought down here, they either can't wait to get here and they want to enjoy themselves again in their holiday home, or they think, do you know what, this place has been a financial drain on us in the last 15 months. A, we haven't been able to use it. B, we're paying community fees of $300 a month and a mortgage.
Yeah.
Let's get rid. But what I found is that the people who do come down and just have another
Yeah,
holiday,
then
they fall in love with it again.
They
It's like,
change their mind.
wow, it's really really interesting.
That's normal.
I mean, we've noticed. I think in terms of where to buy and the hot spots at the moment, the area that we kind of specialise in is what we call the Golden Triangle, which is Marbella, Estepona, Benavis, and that's really strong. I mean, Paul's just mentioned there, you know, Puerto Banús market is very hot. Golden Mile, Sierra Blanca, where I live up in Los Flamingos Golf, we've just sold 2 apartments in there, one in 24 hours of listing it, the other one within 2 weeks of listing it. That's
It's
a sign, isn't it?
It
that
is,
things
it
are
is.
moving. People want a
Yeah.
bit of that glamorous lifestyle.
You just have to go out, and it's absolutely amazing. You've probably done this already, and see the luxury vehicles that are being driven around and the license plates where they come from. I have never in 20 years seen that many luxury vehicles and that many foreign license plates.
Yeah.
Which eventually, after 6 months, the local police are gonna. I'm giving you guys a tip.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're here 6 months and you don't change your plate,
Change
you
your
might be in
plates.
trouble.
Yeah, no, it's true. But the one thing that is lacking is the Brits.
Yeah, and that's it. That's it.
There's no one
It's
getting drunk and
mostly,
falling over and fighting in the
Oh,
streets.
no,
I'm only
everything's
joking.
cool.
It's actually a nice atmosphere at the moment, and I'm not saying that's because the Brits aren't here. I'm just saying
they'll
it's-
be
it's-
coming.
They'll be coming. They'll be
I'm
coming.
sure. We just got to get these politicians to
It's
speak to each other.
Yeah, it's interesting because still about 25-30% of our inquiries are from the UK. So 30% of our inquiries, but probably about 2 or 3% of our sales.
Yeah.
So we're spending
Only
an
right,
awful So we're spending an awful lot of time working with people who are wanting to buy here, British people, but they're not actually doing it. And I think the main reason is they just can't get here,
Yeah.
or they haven't been able to get here.
Yeah, and buying online, obviously, you know, with a virtual viewing, which we're more than happy to do.
Yeah.
And we actually have one in negotiations right now, as you know. I understand that. I would have to also see it physically and,
Yeah.
and feel it.
That's 'cause you're
be there.
old-fashioned.
Yeah, that's it. You know.
What's going to happen, Paul? What's going to happen when the Brits do make it over here? And I'm suggesting that probably from August, September onwards, I think we're going to have an influx of Brits. Are they going to come here and drive us all mad by thinking they're going to pick up a load of bargains?
I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. I really do, because it's happened in the year 2008 when the world crashed,
Yeah,
and then
it did.
in 2010 I was still getting inquiries of the typical place that you want to buy, refurbish, and flip.
Yeah.
And that stopped by 2011. It was all gone. We had British clients coming in 2012, driving us mad, saying that's what they want in that location. We're talking about like location again.
Yeah.
It's gone. There's no more stock. It's all sold. And they were insisting even into 2013 that that's what they want. That I believe can tend to happen again. And it's very difficult to find in the right location
Oh, yeah.
something that you can refurbish and flip,
Yeah.
you know? So
Is that because the Brits are accustomed to haggling? Or is it just that they're behind the market?
you know, I love the Brits. Okay, let's leave that on record here. So I'm not gonna.
Okay, good.
We get along well, right?
Yeah,
As
yeah,
the Brits.
yeah. But I mean,
But they are a tough client to handle. But I like it. I really do. Along with the Irish. Okay, I have to put the Irish in the market there.
I often
They're
think that
very good.
I often think that the Brits are kind of governed by what the media tells them. So if the Daily Mail says that you go to Spain and you offer 30% less than you should, then that's what they're going to do.
Everywhere, exactly.
Yeah, even though we're telling them, you know,
No, it depends where you buy.
I mean, we're getting some properties away at the moment at asking price.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
there's a bun fight for them. So whoever wants it has to pay the price. And,
Non-negotiable.
and even then, some vendors are taking them off the market, even though they get an asking price offer, because they think, well, do you know what? We quite like it here now, and we're going to stay. We're not going to sell. And so the market, you know, there's it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, you have to be prepared on paying depending on where you want to be, depending on if it's an investment purchase, or depending if it's a place you want to use with your family,
Yeah.
and not even rent out for an income.
Exactly.
But that's another concept as well. Is part
Yeah.
purchase, use it
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks out of the year, and then rent it. It's good income as well. There's companies that are professional in handling that. So it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for an ROI,
Yeah.
it just depends. But you got to get here now. That's for sure.
Well, that's it. As Alita Adams
Now's
said
the
in her
time to
song,
move.
"Get here if you can," and that is the best advice we can give you. I know that buying a second home might not be the priority, you know, because obviously it's important that your primary home is the objective, but
Yeah.
it's a fantastic lifestyle down here, and you know, the more and more people that are moving here, or certainly making more use of their time here, they're benefiting enormously from lifestyle advantages,
Exactly.
schooling, leisure time,
Absolutely.
shopping.
It's
Yeah.
great to see the restaurants full.
It
you know?
is. It's a bit busy for
is.
me. I'm not a fan of the
It's
summer
busy.
here because I'd rather be somewhere else, a bit colder. Look at me. So
Sharksy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, well done. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the summer, but I must admit it is a nice atmosphere here at the moment. There's
Yes,
a lot of people
it
about,
really
a lot of
is.
people enjoying themselves,
See that.
and very multinational, as you said. The number
Yeah.
plates on the cars, you can see that they're from all corners of the world, not just Europe.
That's right.
They're from everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's
The economy is moving.
yeah, the economy's
Economy's
moving.
moving.
It's a good place to be, and if
Yeah.
you want a piece of it,
And the weather. Oh,
yeah, and the weather.
Let's
Here
talk
we go.
about the
Here we
weather.
go. So, British people, don't wait to come to the party too late.